All right, hey my friends. It's a good afternoon here where I'm sitting. Uh, Weather's pleasant, got some breeze blowing. Just got finished with a run, so now I'm took a shower and hanging out and going to chat with you guys about letting life get better. I mean that's what we've been dealing with and talking to, and I love coming to you in the afternoons. I love my morning time doing the daily dose and working through Scripture. Man, we looked at powerful stuff out of the book of Thessalonians this morning. And so that's a rich time. But so is this in every right, because it's taking truth and really seeking to apply it. So we've been asking the question, how can I let this get better, right? How can I let life get better? So we ask it about specific issues. And it's a powerful question. It's a game changer for you if you simply ask yourself that question anytime you feel anxiety, stress, tension, whatever creeping up. It's a game changer for you because it's so easy when we get in those areas of anxiety and stress and everything to blame others, to point fingers, to try and find someone that we can blame for what's going on. And instead of just saying, wait, what can I do? See, we can't really control what anybody else can do, can we? I mean, we can barely control our kids. We barely control ourselves sometimes, right? And so that issue is a difficult thing. But if I can ask myself the question, how can I let this get better? It's a game changer. So we ask those things in 7 areas, and we've been walking through the ULA framework. It's a digital platform that Tammy and I are brand ambassadors for, and really enjoying the process of working through this. And I'd love to tell you more about it. Anytime you want to hear more about it, you let me know. I'd love to chat with you. If you're not in our area, well, I'll jump on a Zoom with you and talk to you about it. Uh, but it really is a game changer when you in this digital platform we just evaluate the 7 areas of our life that matter most to us, right? In no particular order. There's fitness, right? We all want to get stronger, better, healthier mentally, healthier emotionally, healthier physically and internally. We don't want to live a life that's sickly or on meds or all of that. Man, we all want to improve our finances and grow in that area. We want to let that get better. We want more margin, right? We want to be able to be careful and know how we spend our money and where we invest our money and how generous we are with our money. And those 3 things are the things that move our money in a way that works for us as opposed to us working for it. And then you got family. And that's that bloodline. That's that God placed you in a family. Now, you may not like everything about your family, but it's your family, and God placed you there. And the best thing we can do is lean into that family and begin to say, how can I let this get better? And so we ask ourselves those questions. How can I let my relationship with my spouse get better, with my children, right? We talk about these every time we meet here, but I just think it's important to remind ourselves of that. And then there's the field. That's that area of work. Listen, we spend the bulk of our time. It's what we call work, right? We should at least enjoy that. We should see how can I let that get better, And so if you don't like where you are, then how can I let it get better so that I can get out of this situation into what I really want? And so we want balance and growth in those areas. We want in the area of faith. We want to be, those of us who are Christ followers want to be a better Christ follower, right? We want to love God more. We want to love our neighbor more. We want to walk in the purpose that He has for us. And so we ask ourselves, how can I let that get better? And same thing with friends, right? Man, friends are proven they're powerful. If you don't have friends, there's a lack in your life. We were never meant to do this thing alone. We need friendships. We need those people that show us the way. Those are a little further down the road. We need those that come alongside of us and make us laugh and make us know life's going to be okay. And it's going to be okay now, not somewhere in the future. And then we need those behind us that we have a responsibility just to kind of bring along and enjoy the benefits of passing on what we have learned. And then there's fun, just the good old-fashioned attitude of just enjoying the life and the days that God has given to us under the sun. So when we in ULA, what we do is we rate those things. And so I've got a wheel on my digital app, and it lets me know where I am, what area is kind of weak, where am I growing, and so because I've answered some questions, it's learned me, and so it's helping me grow in the areas that I'm not as proficient as I'd like to be. And I set my own goals. I set 21 goals, and then I focused on 7 goals, and I've got one that really matters to me. And if that one comes about, it's a game changer for me. That should be how we drive things in life. And then I take 3 action steps every day that's going to propel me down the road in one of those goals. And after a year of this, I will have taken 1,000 steps toward bettering myself in those areas. And so it's a powerful deal. So here we are. I don't know where you are in those 7 things. And if you haven't, listen, just rate yourself. You can probably figure it out yourself in some ways, and at least you can kind of gauge, hey, I need to work in this area. But so what happens when you and I decide to grow? And we decide to find balance, and we decide to step into purpose? You know what happens? The whole universe lines up against us, doesn't it? I mean, that's what we've been talking about. And so what happens is these old strongholds, these old attitudes, these blockers, right? The troll under the bridge that's going to jump up and dare us to cross over and find the good land, find the better life of things. And so they come at us in different emotions. There's fear. We talked about that last week, how that fear can keep you from growing and finding balance and stepping into your purpose. We looked yesterday at the concept of guilt, how guilt can wreck your life and keep you from growing in those areas, and how we have to deal with these monsters. We have to put a chokehold on them. We have to get rid of them. The one I want to talk to you about today is the one that we know of called anger. And man, it'll get you. I mean, really, anger is one of those things. It's an emotion. We can no more be angry than we can not laugh, right? Have you ever been somewhere where you start laughing? You know you're not supposed to, but you can't help it, right? Because you found something funny at an inopportune moment, and so there you are trying to hold your laughter. It's the same way with anger. Anger will bubble up, but the scriptures doesn't say that anger is a sin. Not dealing with that anger is the sin, right? Paul told us that in your anger, do not sin. So it's possible to have an anger and it not move towards sin, right? Because it's an emotion. But we need to get that emotion in check. Anger seeps out of every human. Every human has it. I mean, some people maybe have a longer set of patience and all of that, but there's an anger in there. And so it needs to constantly be dealt with. That issue, if it's left unchecked, will always lead you to sin. Letting it have its way is going to block you from having the balance that you desire in your life. If you just let anger creep into your family, it's devastating, isn't it? How many times have you gone to bed like that and you think, man, what is wrong with me? I yelled at my kids today. I got angry at some of the things they did, and you begin to feel guilt and all of those things creep up, and so when you let anger creep into any of those areas, and you let anger creep into your faith, you're mad at God because he didn't do this or didn't do that. You let anger kind of creep into your friendships through envy or whatever, and it's just going to wreck you. Anger will steal your fun, right? So if we're going to grow, we have to deal with this thing called anger. Just have to. There's no other way around it. Now, there's many faces of anger. At the core, anger is an emotion that surfaces when we feel as though we lost control. I want to say that again. Anger is an emotion that we feel. It surfaces because we feel as though we have lost control. See, anger is a control issue. We can't control something, we get angry. Someone cuts me off in traffic. I didn't have control there. I wanted this lane. He got that lane. Anger comes up, right? It's what happens. You wanted that. You wanted to date that person, and someone else kind of interfered and broke into the lane and got in front of you, and there's anger, right? These are because you lost control. You want to control your life. Someone doesn't do what you want, right? You can't control them, and so you get mad. Man, my wife makes me so mad. Really? Well, why? If you start asking yourself why, it's really because you can't control her. Right? I mean, it's what it comes down to. See, anger is a form of manipulation. There's that big chill aspect to anger, right? I want you to know that I'm gonna be a big chill. I'm gonna freeze you out. I'm gonna pout. And I'm going to make it unbearable for you to live with, and until you recognize that you need to change. See, that's what anger does. Or it's the explosive, right? It's that you better do what I say. You better do what I want. I'm gonna make you pay, right? We do that a lot of times. Hey, don't upset them, man. They go crazy when you do that, right? Those people will never grow in balance and purpose. and in their life, because that anger is what's keeping them there. And then there's just the slow boil. You keep it up, you keep everyone trying to please you so you don't blow up, and you try to put it down, but there comes a point, because you've been keeping score and you didn't deal with it, that it's just bubbling under the surface, just like water, man. You don't know it's bubbling and boiling until it starts rumbling, right? It's getting hot, and it's hot. You put your hand in that water before it boils, it still will burn you. But then it's going to boil over after, because it's just this prolonged life under heat and under intensity. That's what happens when we don't deal with anger. Anger always invites its friends to the party too. It's never alone. It's going to bring bitterness with you. See to it that no root of bitterness spring up, because it defiles everybody. Man, when I get angry, I'm going to bring everybody into that bitterness. And I'm going to make you, I want you to be as angry at them as I am, or that situation as I am. And so it's just going to ruin you. Pride kicks in. When you can't control something, pride kicks in. And pride says, hey, you're right. And so you're critical and you're negative of others. That's anger. Fear will come in too, because fear happens when you're afraid that you're going to lose control, and you get angry, then you get fearful, and that's when anger creeps in. Pain, right? Anger has a story. It always does. Angry people are people who have been hurt, and hurt people hurt people. So there's pain in that deal. And then loneliness. People are lonely, and so therefore they just take it out on others. They feel like nobody cares about them. Nobody wants to be with them, and so they're just angry at the world. And they're so used to doing that, they push everybody away. So how do we deal with this? How do we get this out of our life? Well, we need to resolve it, right? You ask yourself, okay, why am I angry here? And how can I let this get better? I'm not sure how you're going to do that, but you don't let the sun go down on your anger. You deal with it. You have a conversation, a rational conversation with people, and where you listen, and then you let them hear you, so that you're heard and understood, and you resolve the issue. You cultivate love for one another. See, love covers a multitude of sins. The more deeply you focus on others and loving them, anger doesn't really swell up. It can't, because that love overshadows it. That's what the scriptures teach. Sometimes you just choose grace. You forgive them, right? You forgive them. And you know what you don't have to do? You don't even have to let them know. You don't go, oh, you made me so mad, but I'm going to forgive you. You don't even have to do that. You can just forgive them and go, you know what? I'm going to give them a pass, right? Solomon said this one time in his writings. He said, don't believe everything you hear your servants say to you, for you too know you have cursed your neighbor as well, right? So just, hey, breathe. Don't take everything so serious. Lighten up. And then just practice humility. That's simply choosing to regard others as more important than yourself. When you do that, and that's not diminishing you. That's not saying you're less than them. Humility is simply regarding others as more important. It's just that you're not thinking of yourself. You're thinking of them. And when you do that, you get that anger out of the way, you're going to be able to grow in these 7 areas. And so, man, it's so important that we deal with this stuff, isn't it? It feels like a cleansing, doesn't it, when we just sit and have these conversations like this? Listen, if you'd like to know more about ULA, I'm going to drop a post, a little video you can look at. We did a video at my friend Andy's house where one of the creators of ULA zoomed in with us at this barbecue we were doing, and he just begins to talk about this app, and it'll encourage you and make you want to go out and have a better life. So love you guys. I've probably kept you too long, and man, looking forward to seeing you next time we get together. Until then, have a great day.